one look giving whiplash. You drop with a big flash.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Steve Entertainment, Casper Fox, whatever you want to call it. My name is, you guessed it, Casper Fox, and today we're back with Act 2. Act 2.
That's it, I'm out of here.
Of the Phantom of the Opera. Last time we left off, you guys, and I'm sure that obviously this video isn't live yet. I'm recording this on March 7th, which means that this is recorded way in advance, obviously, because that is how we do it over on Patreon. So please make sure to check that out if you want to support me as a content creator. But of course, the Phantom shot, or whatever, the chandelier, and I was told that it is supposed to fall into the crowd, but because it is the Royal Albert Hall or whatever, they were not able to accommodate that chain of events in this particular show. So don't worry, I still kind of gathered that what was happening. I just felt like that they cut before they showed it. So I figured that's what happened. So it didn't take away from my experience, but I do appreciate you guys. I've also gotten a ton of emails of people being like, I like this Phantom more. I like this Phantom more. You should check out this Phantom. This Phantom is greater. I really appreciate it. I do read your emails, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm not gonna respond to them, just because I have so much going on, and responding to emails like that is really a lot of work. But I do see you, and I appreciate you. We'll see. I might check out another Phantom if you guys want more. Like, if you guys want, I could maybe do some bonus content where I react to like maybe some songs, like the Phantom of the Opera song with different Phantoms or something like that. You can let me know in the comments. Anyway, I think I'm done yapping for now. Let's get straight into the next one. And today we are covering, no, that's not. It's called Entr'acte, Act 2, 6 months later. And Masquerade / Why So Silent. Per usual, I don't know when these songs change. I'm gonna have my trusty editor, Morgan, put it on screen. Hello, Morgan emoji waving. Isn't that cool? Anyway, let's get straight into it. Morgan, let's do a cool transition. Ah, na 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 na. Fire. Music of the night motif coming back here. Wow. And something that I'm gonna pause here. Oh wait, no, I'm not. Fire. So something, what I personally believe, and I know my boy Aster is gonna agree with this, is that the French horn is one of the most underrated instruments in big band music and in orchestral music. So they, like, if you've ever heard, and I'm sure you guys know, but for those who don't know, if you've ever heard like that, like you can hear the tubas, you can hear the violins, you can hear the drums, like the bigger drum, you can hear strings and whatever, and you're like, there's this epic horn sound that you can't put your finger on. That's a French horn, and it's so cool. One of the best performances of a French horn, in my opinion, is in Go the Distance. Like that one. So fire. And here, it has this super, super cool melody. Let's just listen to that again. And here they are. There. Ah, so peak. And then to fill out the soundscape, he decided to have these da-da-da triplets in both. I can see visually, I don't really hear it, but visually I can see it in the violins and the horn, the blow, the blow section, the horn section, the stuff. Oh, a little Glockenspiel. So it's like overture. The sequel. Oh. Hell yeah. So many tempo changes, dude. Holy. And then again, you hear that. So while we have this motif, so this is basically like, I assume this is like the Entr'acte, Act 2 or whatever, like hey, we're back, and it's like they're giving a soundscape like catch up on what has happened, and then you hear, as the music now, you hear this downward chromatic In the lower I assume that's like some kind of tuba, maybe a trombone, who knows. The lower instruments here. Hello, look at this fella right here. Look at him, he's pretty handsome, isn't he? Goddamn, Morgan, you can unblur that just for that. Whatever. But anyway, he's probably a great musician as well. But yeah, you can hear in this like do 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 do, which is obviously something we've heard, motifs going up and down in these chromatic approaches, most famously in the Phantom of the Opera motif. Fire. And then we have and that's so smart, having that violin just carry over as a so this part of the music, this passage of the music is now done, and they're transitioning into a new piece or another piece which is still within the same song. And something that they will do is that you need some kind of transitionary piece. Sometimes it's like a na 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 na, like a little, you know, arpeggio there. But here Andrew Lloyd Webber decided to just have a very, very high-pitched violin just be like that, like note that holds on and then transitions into the next piece. God, harps. I love harps. And there we go again. It's motifs from Act 1 coming back. It's like a catch-up, which is interesting. Yeah, I got my time. Legend. And we're back. Yep. Okay, so what? That's probably part of the play because it's a very extravagant instrument. Okay, I assume that's gotta be the first song. Like that's it, right? Let me look. 1:17:37. No, it's not. Okay, I guess not. My bad. But lovely introduction piece. No vocals whatsoever, but still Andrew has mastered telling the story through. Like, we just got a recap of Act 1. And obviously I'm not that familiar with the songs that I'll be able to say this is this, but I recognized every single motif in there from Act 1. So that's fine. And then we of course end on the Phantom. It's not the right key, it's a different key, but that's just to, you know, be put in with the music. Still lead motifs, and lead motifs are not defined by the key, but rather the motion of the notes, obviously. Alright, who's this guy? Huh? Is it the two owners meeting in secret, or is it just part of the play? Probably just part of the play with their costumes here. Just have like yeah, it is. So it's the two owners. And they're gonna get scared when they touch each other's back. No. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, Andre, what a splendid party.
Oh, it's a mask. It's a masquerade.
One does one's best. Here's to a toast to all the city. Such a pity that the Phantom come here.
Fire. I feel like the Phantom would fit in right here. He would just like hide. Like if I was a Phantom and I was planning to kill these guys, I'd do it here. Because you're wearing a mask anyway, buddy. You can blend in. Masquerades are the perfect place to blend in. Okay, so we have a little more like da 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 with like some plucked strings rather than the bow approach, which is really nice. Oh, they're in the crowd. Look at that. It sounds like a circus or like a parade. 1, 2, 3. So now we're in 3/4. What the f? I assume they are supposed to be like. So they look like tin soldiers, like those look like. It looks like music box people. Oh? Masquerade! Okay, so this is definitely the next song. So I can see this is called Masquerade. Okay. So it's a masquerade? Is it so the reason why I don't think it's part of the play, it could potentially be, but I think we're at a party. Because why would the two owners be like, there's no way the two owners would be involved in a play. Like they are essentially not singing. They're not canonically singing in the play in that sense, you know? So I assume they're at a masquerade party here. Masquerade. Fire. Yeah. And again, this very posh, there's another mask behind you. There's another mask behind you. So this is very, 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 and of course it's supposed to take place in Europe, which it would make sense for them to have like British accents. My headcanon in shows like this, because if these are supposed to be French people, then they would, they would probably be speaking French to each other, right? But I think that they are speaking French to each other, but because of the magic of movie or storytelling, we perceive it and hear it as English. Like, it's the same, for example, if you see a movie about people like in ancient Greece, there's a big chance that you speak Greek. And then you just have it like as a translated, so that you gain the power to understand Greek for just those moments, right? Which is like a nice headcanon, because then that doesn't take away from the storytelling. Something that takes away from that a little bit is that if like I say you should either always like if all of a sudden they're gonna start speaking French to each other like then that kind of ruins it for me. But having like bonjour and like that actually works fairly well. And again, this song is a great example of how you cannot just be like an average normal singer to be a part of this cast. Like, even the most backgroundist of background roles in this has to be like the best opera singer full time.
Green and black, queen and priest, face of rouge, face of beast.
Hell yeah.
Take a ride on a merry-go-round in an inhuman race. I am blue. Who is false, who is true? Color, lip, swirl of gown. Ace of hearts, face of clown. Aces, drink it in, drink it up.
Oh, look. Aww.
But who can name the face?
Masquerade. Fire. Two, three, four. 1, 2, 3. That's weird. Were we all... Dude, there's no way. Did we change from 3/4? Let me just check that. Okay, so they were in 3/4 when they were approaching the stage, and then changed to 4/4 when the Masquerade motif started or whatever. Cute. No. Oh, now it's quiet. Look at them go. Dude, I cannot begin to fathom how complicated the costuming must be from this. Look at this, they're all just perched out. That's crazy.
What a night! What a crowd!
Makes you glad. Makes you proud. Oh, the creme de la creme.
Watching us and watching them in the
6 months of relief,
of delight.
of Elysian peace.
And we can breathe no more noise.
No more ghosts.
It's a health.
Here's a toast to a prosperous year. To the new chandelier.
To the new chandelier.
Never fade to change.
What a blessed breeze and what a masquerade.
Pink conflict, a secret engagement.
And here we have Camila back. No. Yeah, no. And this is another the Think of Me, one of the final songs of Act 1, coming back as like a reprise, but in a Think of It instead of Think of Me. Very nice.
What have we to hide?
You promised me. Oh, Rob, please don't
To
tell
let them see it's an engagement, not a crime. Christine, what are you afraid of?
Let's not
It's not argue.
please
Like that
pretend.
lonely
Okay, so he wants to propose to her, but she doesn't want that, or are they already engaged? Okay, interesting. I'm looking to see if the Phantom is in here somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Back in 3/4. Cute. And oh, listen. So now we have that no, this up and down moving motif, which to me kind of signifies as a danger motif, like something's about to go wrong. Could also just be that they're spinning, spiraling. No, that doesn't. Never mind, we're back. There are more?
How many are there?
She does not look happy. Whee! Pretty. Okay, so maybe it was just like a moment of like doubt, like this whole engagement thing, or because I don't quite. I think they're not engaged, or maybe they are engaged, but she doesn't want them to know.
Christine, that's all I ask.
Anyway, no matter what it is, she seemed very uncomfortable, and that kind of took on her for a little while there, and it was portrayed in the music. Ooh. Careful. Careful with that one, doing that in Europe. Very careful. I know some of you Americans, I don't say some of you Americans, some of your dumbass leaders has adapted that one, which is not great. Hitting the meanest dab in the world. Masquerade. Fire. Look at this costuming. Like, look at this frame alone. Is insane. Someone is slaying that upper octave. This is really funny because something that I like to talk about, especially when I analyze pop music, is something called the crowd pleaser. And the crowd pleaser is something like, for example, if you listen to Timo in Band Bro, or We Will Rock You is literally just one giant crowd pleaser. And it's essentially when all the instruments drop out except for the drums and some claps, and the crowd gets to sing along. So doom doom gong, for example here. This is kind of a crowd pleaser. Listen to this, like this masquerade motif comes back, but everything omits except for like the percussion. You hear that? That's so funny. Which is more of like a modern element in music that wasn't done usually back in the day. Because so back in the day, music and concerts were obviously so super very different from what we have today. Because music was supposed to be enjoyed in a formal setting. You weren't supposed to in classical pieces and stuff like that. Like, I'm not talking like 80s and 70s. I'm talking way before then, like 1600s, like way back. People would not go to like sing along to concerts. That's not how it was. You would go to a concert, you would sit and you would listen, and when it was done, or whatever, and depending on what setting you were in. So crowd pleasing would not make a sense. You would sit down and you would play your piano, or you would play your violin, you would play your trio, you would sing your piece, whatever, and then you would, receive your flowers, and then you would kind of just go. That's kind of it. But here, in what is essentially like a classic setting, you have a crowd pleasing piece all of a sudden here, the music. That's really cool. And it comes back in with the horns. Dun, 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 dun. There he is. Oh, hell yeah. Oh my god.
He's right behind me, isn't he?
Why so silent, good monsieur? Did you think that I had left you for good?
So I see here in my notes that it's been 6 months since the chandelier fell. So I assume the Phantom has not been active since then. Holy
Have you missed me, good monsieur? I have written you an opera.
in 6 months?
Here I bring the finished score. Don Juan triumphant.
Don Juan triumphant.
I advise you to comply. My instructions should be clear. Remember, there are worse things than a shattered chandelier.
And obviously, huh? Christine? Or the chick? Christine, okay. Very fantastic. Cool. Okay, so yeah, obviously it makes sense that he would be there at a masquerade. That makes sense. And it obviously takes place in whatever theater stage or whatever this universe is set in. Interesting approach, like no 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 no. That's also something returning. It's another motif. I can't quite I can't remember. Morgan, what song does that appear in first? Do you know? You can ask Mal, or maybe you know yourself, or Roger, or ask Andrew Lloyd Webber. I don't know. Interesting approach here, especially with like how daunting the music is. But like again, such a great way of telling a story through music.
Your chains are still mine. You will sing for me.
Oh. Your chains are still mine. You will sing for me. Sing for me. Ooh. So this is interesting because I know that obviously the Phantom, like, the entire musical is basically that, yeah, he's killing people, but he has a pretty voice in that sense, right? Here we see a little bit of more like abusive approach from the Phantom, which I don't feel like we've seen before, other than when she tried to remove his mask, right? And that was a trauma response. This seems more like, I control you, so you better sing, you know, stuff like that, which is not great. And then there's Panic at the Disco.
Monsieur, don't ask me. I know no more than anyone else.
For real.
That's not true. You know something, don't you?
I know nothing.
Good day, sir.
Monsieur, don't ask me.
Madame,
Oh, okay.
for all
So
our sakes.
Very well.
and that is where we leave off, because Mal has been really nice to include the final phrases of each song. So that's it. That's what we're going to be doing today. Holy what a so we got a Masquerade, which was an incredible ensemble piece and a fantastic construction of incredible voices. I want to know who did the higher part on that, like, the Masquerade. That was fire. Okay, she definitely knows something, but she doesn't want to tell, because if she tells, she dead. So which is kind of an interesting, because she's always wearing black, like she's already mourning something, she's already in sorrow in that sense, right? This was an incredible episode. Obviously over on Patreon we're going to get right over to notes/twisted every way, but obviously on YouTube you're gonna have to wait a week. Thank you so much to all the incredible patrons scrolling over here. If you want unedited content, or the Phantom of the Opera unedited, like you don't want to like wait between episodes, you don't want to like have all the cuts and edits here, you can do so over on Patreon. It supports me as a content creator. Of course, I am very certain that my musical Stories from Styx, Hades and Persephone, which is the first part of Stories from Styx, is out on all streaming services, and of course on YouTube if you want to watch the animatics/animations I commissioned for it. I worked with so many fantastic people. It is out. You can check it out in the description below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week for more Phantom of the Opera. Take care.